Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 34, I believe, of the Rebranding Podcast. Um,
Don't
I wish that was a
worry
joke.
about that.
Yeah,
We'll get into that later.
yeah, we'll talk about it later, but just know that's not a joke. Um, we'll tell the story of why in a little bit. But yes, hello. It is currently the end of June. Welcome to halfway to the end of summer. God, you can tell my
We're
brain
halfway
cells are
through
just not here
2023.
today.
Luci, we're halfway through 2023 already.
I know. Can I just say, okay, for context, I need to say this. The first episode of this, I believe, aired in like August of 2020,
Yeah, 3
right?
years ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it was like 2020. I just don't remember which month. But I just gotta say, the length of this podcast is insane. But also, these last 3 years have felt short as fuck.
Yep.
Like I have
100%.
not. I don't know. I feel like the last 3 years have all felt like about a month and a half to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know
100%.
time isn't changing, but it's like time dilation to me. The first 19 years of my life, so from like 2001 all the way to 2020, all like those just felt like normal years. They felt long, everything was happening, and it's like the last 3 years of my life have just shot by.
See, for me, it was mainly because of college,
I
honestly.
mean, no, I will agree to that. I think it's the same for me. Like I feel like it felt longer before because I was in school like full time constantly. I had a job on the weekends and I was streaming part time as well. So it was like all that plus I was pulling events every other month and stuff. And now it's the fact that I'm not doing nearly as much. Like it's summer. I am in college. Technically, I'm actually starting a new major this fall. Um,
Mhm.
this is like the fourth time I've switched. I'm so bad at college.
It's fine.
Yes,
Listen,
but
bro, my professor that taught me, my English professor, she made me not worry about that as much. She
yeah.
literally straight up told me, dude, it took me 8 years to graduate and I changed my major 7 times.
Yeah, that's definitely
You'll
what
be
I'm like
fine.
feeling here. That's definitely
You'll
what I'm
be
feeling here.
fine. Yeah.
I started just trying to do my general education stuff, dropped out twice. Went into computer science, could not I was not smart enough for that stuff. So I switched into journalism, did journalism for 2 semesters, and now I'm going into marketing.
Yep.
So it's a
Yep.
time, but I think marketing's gonna work out pretty well for me. It's gonna help me out with content, but it's also gonna help me out with a lot of jobs that I think I'd be pretty good at.
Yeah.
So yeah, in 4 semesters, hopefully I will be transferring out into a state school, preferably in San Diego or LA. But we'll be seeing from there.
Yeah, we'll go from there. Me personally, I go back to college in the fall. Now, what am I gonna do after I get my associates of where I'm at right now? I have no clue. I have no
Yep.
idea. I'm going into digital video technology, dude. I have no idea where I want to. Okay, I could, sure. If I want the best credits, I have one of the best schools in the nation, almost the fucking world.
Yeah.
Go to full right out next door, but I'll be $90,000 in debt.
Yeah, that's my one thing about it is like I'm trying to just see like after I finish up because I'm in community college right now, so I'm like it's I
Oh
barely
my.
pay for anything. Um,
Yeah.
but like what I'm trying to do right now is I'm like debating. I'm like, do I just want to get like my like certificate of achievement from a community college and then go from there, or do I want to go into debt?
Right. Yeah.
Because like
Pretty
the
much.
last thing I want to do is throw myself so far into debt to a point where it's like I still want to I want to do content. It's something regardless of whether I grow from here or not. I hope I grow, but regardless of whether I do or not, content is something I'm gonna be doing for my whole life. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite jobs ever. But
Hmm.
it's I don't want to throw myself into debt because that is going to side rail so many plans that I have for it.
It is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Loans
suddenly
are
I'll have to
tough.
be focusing on paying all of that back instead of like putting my money towards something I actually want to do.
Exactly. You have to put less savings aside for bills. It's
Yes,
it's a lot to balance.
it really is. But yeah.
That's why you kind of have to make sure you go into a good industry. If you don't, and you're just fucked.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
That's why I want to swing into marketing, because like it
mm,
helps me in two areas. Like it'll help me with marketing myself, but it'll also help me get like a good enough paying job to where I won't have to worry too much.
exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of how I kind of feel about my job, right? Because like being a digital editor, basically what it is. You could do so much shit, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
could do commissions for content creators. I could do, I could go edit commercials, go edit movies. I could go edit any of this stuff. You know, the industry is very wide. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, it's gonna
Not
be
only
pretty fun.
that, not only that, but I might have an opportunity coming up where
Oh?
I might be able to internship under a photographer who's a family friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is part of my family. Yeah. Shout out if you guys are ever in the New York area and you need wedding photos, mainly like the New York City, Long Island area. Caitlin Ferris. Caitlin Ferris. Look her up. She is 100. She is amazing at everything that she does. Now you will have to book about 2 years in advance, but
Yeah, that's fair.
but she is honestly one of the if not the best photographer on that. She's so good at what she does. She did the pictures for my aunt's wedding, uh, uncle's wedding, all of that stuff.
I've got some relatives in New York. I will send her stuff that way,
Oh hell
because God knows they'll be getting married soon enough. And I'm gonna get dragged out to the East Coast for some more weddings.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, if you're ever in the area, just let me know where you're going.
Oh, hell yeah. Fun fact, actually, this is gonna turn into so much not of a fun fact so fast. The only
Okay.
times I've traveled to the East Coast in the last decade have either been for funerals or weddings.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
funny to me because as a kid, I used to go to New York all the time to visit my grandparents for Thanksgiving. And then after 2013, it was all right, their funerals, weddings, more funerals, weddings.
Yeah. See, the funny thing is about me on the West Coast, I've only been the closest I've been to West Coast is Colorado. I was
That's
there for
fair,
a week.
dude. Oh, I cannot wait to go to Colorado next summer. I'm hopefully getting there for a
Oh, yeah.
short film that I wasn't able to do this summer because I crashed my car. Um,
Right.
but yes, it's gonna be so good.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Also, we
Oh.
completely blanked on the topic of this episode and just went off on a
Oh no,
tangent.
I was no, I was keeping track. Don't worry.
Okay, I blanked on it.
This is the small talk.
This is the small talk section. Yeah, this is the part where we forget, or I forget the topic, and then Oof has to bring me back on track because my ADHD just goes away.
It's all good. It's all good. So the topic of today, it's the summertime, of course, right?
It's time for
So
campfires,
usually,
marshmallows, all sorts of camping and outdoor activities.
of course, right? So I wanted to bring up a few stories that we have from like our childhood, like going to summer camp or you know maybe just to give you a little preview how you may have drowned at a water park and died. Who
Exactly,
knows? Yeah,
exactly. We're doing some summer camp stories,
pretty much.
campfire
Pretty much.
stories.
So, would you like to go first, or would you like me?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
I, I'm gonna have you go first, actually, because I need to debate on just how stupid I want to sound on this podcast.
All right. So, I'm gonna call this story. Oops, I died.
I've heard this story before. This is a good one.
Um, so, take this. This is back in 2009. In 2009, I'm 6 years old. My 6th birthday. So my mother, and my mother and her boyfriend at the time decided to take me to Six Flags of Whitewater, located in Atlanta. If you don't know, it's a giant ass water park. All right, it give competition to Volcano Island and Universal. It's pretty damn big.
All right.
Now, I was 6, right? And I said that earlier, but knowing that I'm very small. If you see me in like a picture of me or anything like that, I'm very skinny. I was the same way as a kid. This really never changed. I did get really chubby at one point, but that was like when I was like 4 or 5. I completely burned it off. It just disappeared.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
I had about the same when I was a kid.
but yeah, 90% of the time I was super skinny. So I get to this water slide, and there's already trouble because my mom goes up to the guard and is like, "Hey, it's his birthday. Can you let him ride?" Which I didn't understand at the time why she had to do that. Why she had to
Yeah,
ask.
there was the limit, right? Wasn't
I
there?
didn't, I didn't understand that there was a height limit, and I
Yep.
didn't breach it. Yeah, yeah. So they let me go on it anyway because they said, birthday and all that shit, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So, I get in. There's this one water park or water slide. It's like I don't even think it's there anymore. It's 3 dragons, and they go down. It's kind of like those little uh carpet slides that you go on, where you ride
Oh
down the
yeah, the ones where
carpet
you
and
just
it
slide down
goes
the carpet.
woo, woo, woo. Yeah, yeah. It's the exact same shape, pretty much, but it's just way short. Right? Now, I get up to the line, everything's great. The lifeguard says, "Yeah, go ahead and sit down, but don't go yet." This is where the fun began.
Did
I
you
put my
go?
feet in the jets. I put my feet in the jets, and I realized immediately that there might be an issue. These jets were powerful as hell.
Oh, it just pulled you, didn't it?
As soon as I sat down,
Yep. Goodbye.
there I went, and I didn't know that I was going to get shot right out of a fucking water slide.
I mean, why
So
would you? Like,
when
why would you expect that?
exactly, so right when I got shot out, when I was going down, I slammed the back of my head on the
Yep.
slide. Knocked out cold. 99. Now I remember nothing after this except for waking up about, I don't know, a minute later maybe, which you'll hear from this. This is for now from the perspective of my mother. My mother was watching from the bottom of the slide,
Yep.
waiting for me to come down.
And then she just sees her kid get yeeted.
No, she actually didn't
Oh, she didn't
hear
see that.
the first thing she knew that something was wrong. She heard a loud boom
Your
behind her.
body.
And that was what she turned around at. And that was my head hitting the
Yeah, I
slide.
was gonna say that was you getting knocked out cold by a water slide.
So here comes my 6-year-old self, just lifeless body, drowning down the slide.
Ugh.
um, she jumped in. Now she saw this, right, and immediately started pushing through people. Um, and jumped in the pool, full swan dive, going it right in. Yanks me out of the water, and then just starts basically slamming on my shit.
Yep. CPR.
um, the funny thing about that is that she beat the lifeguard to me. Not only to me, but in the water.
I'll say this right now. There's nothing more powerful than like a mom going after their kid who's in danger.
Like, they reminded me of this TikTok I seen recently where this kid fell in the pool. It's like a little Ring camera they have set out outside their screen door. And this kid falls in the pool, right?
Yeah.
And all you hear is from inside the house and bam!
And then mom's out the door.
The mom comes through the screen door. I mean, walking ran directly through it.
Fucking hell.
Jumped in the pool.
I'm gonna say it right now. Nothing beats a mother going after their kid who's in peril. Like, what
No.
the fuck? You could be like you could be a trained Olympic lifeguard. Nah.
So yeah, my mom dragged me out the pool. I woke up, spit out some water, you know, the whole deal. And yeah, I was traumatized for about 10 minutes. And then I was completely fine. And
Yeah, it's the kid resilience. It was like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? There's a pool over there. Well, it's the kid ADHD.
yeah, yeah. So now the EMTs did look at me. And check my vital signs and stuff like that. I don't think they were supposed to do this, but they did say that there may or may not have been my heart may have stopped or slowed down. Basically, is what they said. Right, based on the way they're reading my heart right now. I think it was my mom didn't want to pay for the $400 ambulance.
I mean,
so fair enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, like if I'm ever in like a medical situation and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna call you an ambulance," I'm like, "Fuck no, call me an Uber."
Yep.
Like I'm not getting in an ambulance.
Yeah, the rest of that day was great. You know, we rode some go-karts after that. But
that's how it goes,
that's the
you
story
know.
of how I died.
I don't know. It's how it goes. Sometimes you got to go to a water park, die, come back to life, and then continue on with the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I will say, I've never been knocked out cold at a water park before. But I do have a similar kind of stupid story. Now, for anybody who's like ever been to a water park, you like undoubtedly you'll know those tornado type slides where you go down in those tubes of with 4 people, right? Like
those
the ones,
are my favorite.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Like you go down those, you go up the sides, you know, around the areas and stuff like that.
Whitewater has one of the. I think at the time that it was built, it was the world's biggest one because dude, this thing was gigantic. Okay, they were able to send 6 people at a time because of how big the tube was.
Okay.
Yeah, like it took you about, I think it was like a minute and a half ride, and a whole minute of that is you doing this, getting down.
Yeah, no, it was one of those pretty much. It was one of the ones where you like go up on the sides as you get closer to the thing.
Yeah.
And so this was probably my own fault. I'm not 100% sure. But, you know, we go down, we go up the first one, everything's fine, right? And then we go back down up the second slide. Now, keep in mind, while I'm on this, I don't have my hands on the straps.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can see where this is going. So, the first one we went up, I think the reason I didn't fall out is because I was on the top side of it. So my legs were stopping me. But we went down, I'm still at the back of this thing, so we go up this side. Now I'm on the bottom part. And you can imagine what happened. I didn't have my hands on the thing. So first, my legs rolled like up a little bit. And then I fell out of the thing. I tried to grab the straps. I couldn't. So I fall out of the tube, and there's the other 3 people there. Mind you, I didn't know these 3 people. Like mind you, they weren't my friends. These are some strangers that just witnessed like a 13-year-old boy fall out of the fucking tube. No, but it gets worse. It gets worse. Which, like, I know you're probably thinking, like, how could this possibly get worse? Now, if you know anything about physics, you know that if you fall out of something that's usually at the top of its peak, you're gonna fall the same trajectory. Now, that thing has more weight than a 13-year-old like preteen kid has. And keep in mind, when I was like early to mid teens, like teens, like now I have like a bit of weight, but like I was a bag of bones. I'll admit, like I was
Yep.
skinny as shit.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, I had like no weight on me to get ahead of this thing. So I like start rolling down the side of the slide, and the thing starts coming back towards me. So right at about like the bottom part, like we're on like the next wall kind of, and the thing just nails me. So
Of course it's done.
yeah, it nails me. So like, mind you, like you know how it's like a square thing? This thing was diagonal at the time it nailed me. So nobody tries to grab me, you know, obviously, because I could have gotten hurt if they had like held on to me.
Mhm.
But this thing nails me, and I'm on the left side of it, so it knocks me further up the wall. Now I didn't
Oh
fall
my
off the
God.
wall or anything, but I rolled back down the side of it again. It kept getting worse, which is really funny to me at this. So
Of
it
course
keeps
it
getting
did.
worse. You know, they're going up. I'm like still rolling up each side a little bit. They're still going. It's starting to slow down for both of us. Now I finally stopped rolling up the damn walls,
Yeah,
and
right.
I end up getting down the tube there, like towards the end of the thing.
Mm.
At the very end of the tube, it hits me again. It rolls over me again into the pool.
Like it's like that one scene where just everything is okay, and all of a sudden you just get hit by a fucking bus.
No, that's exactly what it was like. So I had fallen out of the tube in the main part. I had rolled down the side. I got run over by it once. And I rolled down the side again. I went back up. I rolled back down the side. And I did it however many more times it happened while they slowed down as well. I made it in the thing before them. But since I had little to no weight, I wasn't moving very fast in the slide there, like that last part of the slide,
Of
since
course
it's
you
pretty flat. So their thing was moving a little bit faster. It wasn't like extremely fast, but it was like, you know, a little bit faster. And it caught up to me at the very end of the slide. So the thing just
did.
knocks me into the pool and proceeds to roll over me.
Over you. Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
the best thing ever. But you know, after they get in the pool, like the three people in there jump out, and one of them like you know like goes up. He's like, "Are you good?" Because you know,
Are you alive?
yeah, because I just got you know hit like 3 times in a row basically, and almost drowned
Yeah.
by a fucking tube. But yeah, I was like, I'm good. I think. Like, I'm a little disoriented at this point because I did just roll up and down a slide repeatedly and get run over by a tube. So I'm a little out of it.
Good.
I'm a little out of it, but like I'm standing in the pool there, I'm like, I think I'm good. I'm good. And mind you, I'd probably swallowed so much water during this. I know I did a little bit at least. I don't know how much it was, but yeah. So
No, you
I
just
get out
eat
of the
that.
pool
It's
and
fine.
I just sit on the edge of it for like a good solid 15 minutes. And I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
13-year-old
What
me
you
was
do.
definitely a little traumatized from that. Um, and I'll admit, for like the next 2.5 years of my life, I didn't touch one of those slides. Like I didn't, I did not go near one until I was like 15, 16.
See, I have a funny story about those kinds of stuff. It wasn't like the same one, but it's in the same type of area, right? Think of
Yeah.
like that slide, except it doesn't like funnel out. It's just a tube that goes around, right?
Oh, like it goes
Yeah.
circles. Yeah.
But you're either in like a one person or a two person. Okay.
Yes.
Now I gotta come up with a fake name for this place because the lifeguard that I knew there still works there. So we're gonna call this place
Camp Water Park.
no, don't worry. We're gonna call this place Fadventure Filing.
All right.
That's what we're gonna call it. Fadventure Filing. And here at Fadventure Filing, um there is I knew the lifeguard. I at this one water slide where he was sitting at the top. He's
Oh
by
no.
himself. Right? So I was a little. This was like I was like 13 or 14. Me and my friend that were there, we're little fucking delinquents at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
So we
Like,
were
you
like,
know.
bro, Bro, you gotta let us get a running start. You gotta let us do it.
Yep. I mean, to be fair,
No.
it's like, you're preteen, you're in that stage of fuck the rules.
Yeah, exactly. So my friend, he goes and the plan is right. We established a plan before we did this jump. Okay. Plan is you're gonna run in, put the tube under you, and land on the tube and go down. You're just running in to give yourself a head start.
All
Okay.
right.
That was the plan. My friend went first. He jumps in. He brings the tube in. Boom. Gone. Absolute fucking missile.
All right.
All right. Sick. My turn. I run in. Put the tube under me. I sit down and get launched. All of a sudden, there's no tube under me.
Yep.
I missed drastically.
Yep.
So I hit the slide, and as soon as my head comes up, I see the tube barrel rolling above my head, and it beams down the tube. Gone.
Oh, Jesus.
Now I'm going down this tube by myself that is supposed to be made for you spinning in the tube, not yourself.
Not like sprawled out
on
on the fucking
my own,
slide.
with a running head start as a 13-year-old, maybe 120 pounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like as 13-year-olds, like you and I didn't weigh much, so like anything that like requires like vertigo, you're like, oh god.
Lucy, I was going so fast. There was a part in the tube where it opens up to glass at the top part.
Oh,
I went
geez.
so fast at that turn, my ass touched the glass and went around. I have
Jesus
experience
Christ.
doing a barrel roll without it being in a fighter jet.
Jesus Christ.
I did a full barrel roll because of the way the transition was, and my friend was waiting for me at the bottom, right? And he was waiting. He was. We kind of knew the lifeguard. The lifeguards at the bottom knew the guy up there, right? So we were cool with them as well. So when we came flying out, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Well, until
you didn't have a tube.
100. No, yeah, exactly. So the tube comes out first, and he's like, "What?" All of a sudden, you see this absolute fucking missile.
The skinny ass kid
being
flying out the slide.
Boom! I launched so far. When I stood up again, I took one step and I was at the steps. I took one step up and I was at the steps.
Any faster, you would have hit the concrete.
Correct. Correct. Any faster, I would have slammed directly into the fucking wall.
God damn.
Now, knowing this, I was like, oh yeah, I pretty much launched pretty far there, bud, right? I was looking for my friend. My friend was underwater because he had to dodge me. I went over him.
I was gonna say, yeah, there was no way for him to clear the pool in that time.
I was over him. So, yeah. Yeah, I was a little delinquent when it comes to water slide.
Yeah, you know, just for anybody who watches this podcast, if you're ever wondering why there's rules at water parks, they're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason, I assure you.
Like, as a kid, especially if you are a kid watching this podcast, which you shouldn't be, but if you are a kid, they're rules at water parks for a reason. Don't break them. They're literally there to prevent you from dying or getting seriously injured.
Like literally, the slides are designed for you to do the exact task they tell you to.
Exactly.
If you
like
abort from that task, problems will occur.
Exactly. Like take for example, they tell you to hold on to the straps. I didn't do that, and I got run over 3 times. So.
Yep. You're not supposed to get a running start into a water tube. So
that too.
Look what happened.
Yeah, that too. You're not supposed to run into a tube. Don't do that either.
Now. I do have another story of me almost drowning. Now we can involve the ocean.
Oh boy, I feel like this is going to like slowly evolve from like camp stories to this is just summertime water disasters.
I want the name of this episode just called "We Drowned."
We drowned repeatedly.
We
No,
drowned a few times.
it's just gonna be we drowned, like several dots, and then repeatedly. Because weirdly enough, I do
That's
have a
it.
story of me
That
almost
is
drowning.
covered. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
This is
I'll
okay.
tell my I'll tell
Yeah,
my beach story, and then I think we should wrap it up after that.
yeah. All right. So this is actually a story from a vacation that I took to Hawaii. So you can probably already tell where this is gonna go. Now,
Pacific Ocean.
huh?
To the Pacific Ocean, huh?
Yes, you are correct. Now, okay, it's like I've already done like quite a few like fun things on vacation. You know, like I've hiked up to a volcano. I saw like lava glow at night and stuff and everything, and I was like great. I had a lot of fun.
Sick.
It was. Oh God.
Ignore me, by the way.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, ignore
But
me, by the way. Go ahead.
yeah, but no, it was fun. Like, you know, I saw lava glow, did a bunch of things, and it was great. And you know, I decided that this next day I wanted to just chill by the beach that was near like the place we were staying at. So the hotel we were staying at, keep in mind this is on the Big Island, so there's not many like there's not many towns
Honolulu.
or anything. What?
I think it's called Honolulu.
No, Honolulu is its own thing. The Big Island's like the one with the active volcano still. It's called like the
Oh, that's
island of
right.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the island of Hawaii. Um, but yeah, no. So I was on the Big Island, you know, the lava glow, everything, and the hotel actually had like its own little beach area. So it was like the structure up here, you know, there's like more like rooms and stuff. So you go down buildings down here, and there's this path that just leads down to this beach area here. And I went down there for the day. Now, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed the time there. You know, I spent some time just kind of, you know, swimming around. Since I was probably like 16 in this, 15, 16, something like that. So, you know, I'm just having a good time there. I'm relaxing. And I went boogie boarding a little bit. Now, this is where it gets a little catastrophic. Now, boogie boards have like a little thing you can attach to your wrist or your ankle, like surfboards do. Um, so I was using one of those, just kind of like having a good time. And you know, eventually you get like, you know, the wave will take you a little far and you get to like the edge of the beach, right? So I got to the edge of the beach. Now, this is a time where I have been knocked out cold. Um, and I will say the boogie board is the only thing that saved my life. And you'll understand why in a minute. So I had just gotten in, like, you know, I let the boogie board kind of like drift away from me a little bit because it was attached to me, so it wasn't an issue. And it was one of those situations where like the water gets shallow enough and there's a wave building right over you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you can see where this is going. The wave catches me in the neck and choke slams me into the sand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those. So it's the one where it just got away from me enough and I couldn't run out of the wave because it's pulling all the water back. So it just catches me like right by the neck head area and just slams me face first down. I'm out. Like, I'm out cold.
I know. Like
And you know, like there was no way I was getting away from that. But I heard this story from one of the hotel staff who was like, you know, helped me after everything and like, you know, saw everything that happened. But essentially, one of the people on the beach had witnessed me getting slammed down, and they kept an eye out, you know, just in case, you know, I didn't resurface because I fucking didn't. Um, so you know, all of a sudden they're calling the people over. They're like, "Holy shit, a kid like you know just got swept under. I don't see him." And then somebody spots this blue boogie board floating on the water.
oh my
Only
god,
thing,
that's your goddamn
Yeah.
ankle.
only thing that saved my goddamn life here. Like, if I didn't have that, they would not have found me in time. So, like, according to the hotel guy, like a few people just like ran into the water and like, you know, grabbed the boogie board, followed the line, and like pulled me out of the water. And I was like, okay, I'm still out cold. So they just pulled this like lifeless kid borderline. Now, I didn't have any like extreme medical emergency, like my heart didn't stop or anything. I did swallow a fuck ton of seawater, and sand, which, you know, I puked up on the beach. Horrible feeling.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, they pull this lifeless kid from the water, and you know, after that, like, you know, I'm up on the beach, like, you know, dry area now, and someone's doing CPR on me. And after like I think it's I don't know how long it's been. It's probably like a good 5 minutes or so. But I wake up. and I'm like now spitting up water and sand, and like just I'm throwing up on the beach.
Mm.
So luckily I'm alive. My heart didn't stop. I don't know why they were doing CPR. I don't think anybody took my pulse, but I don't know for sure.
It was just in case.
Yeah, it was just in case, pretty much.
Okay.
It's also probably because I wasn't waking up and there was so much water in my system.
Well, see, the thing is, CPR doesn't. It's not the only thing that like your heart may be pumping, right?
It's
But
also
if you do
lungs.
CPR, yeah, it helps
It
spread
forces air
oxygen
in.
throughout your
Yeah,
body. Yeah,
I was gonna say it forces air around. So yeah. Um, but
makes
yeah,
your
I end up
blood
like
circulate.
yeah, I end up throwing up all this like seawater and sand on the beach, which goddamn is one of the most uncomfortable feelings I've ever experienced, mind
Horrible,
you. Like
horrible feeling.
I've thrown up myself like a few times in life, but there's something extremely uncomfortable about sand like just in your throat coming out. It was
Horrible.
yeah, no, god, it sucked. But yeah, I woke up and one of the like they called like they had like golf carts going around the hotel to basically like transport people if they wanted. So one of the hotel guys like calls one down. He's like, "Yeah, I need one at the beach like right now." So he stays
Yeah.
with me until that cart gets there, which is like only about like 2-3 minutes. But he's like, I asked him what happened, and he was like, "So a wave, according to this person, a wave caught you, and then that's when I noticed. But we pulled you out of the water, and you'd almost drowned." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay, sick.
yeah."
Just almost
And
nice.
yeah, no, and it was that, and he was like, I mean, the only reason any of us spotted you was the boogie board that was tattooed. I was like, oh, okay,
Yep.
what the fuck? Um,
Cool.
yeah, no, so like, I straight up like, thankfully, everybody got to me fast enough to where it was a point where I was like, all right, I think I wasn't even in the water. I probably was in the water for like more than 10 seconds, to be honest, before someone pulled
Oh,
like my head back above it. Um, but yeah, no, if I just didn't have like that like strap attached to me, it would have been it for me.
it would have been over. It would
Oh
have been
yeah,
over.
no, absolutely.
Like,
Like I would not be here today if I did not have that strap on. Um,
that's fucking crazy.
it was
Jesus.
like it was just fucking crazy to me because I was just like, okay. One moment I was standing there, the next I felt the like the pressure of the wave hitting me, and the next thing I know, I like woke up on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll admit,
Yep.
I've also been hit by a wave like that before where I didn't get knocked out cold. Oh, there goes my arm. Um,
Uh-oh.
my controller died. We're fine. But like I will admit, I've also been hit by a wave like that before where I didn't get knocked out cold and it just like slammed me down and rolled me a bit. And I gotta say, like that's difficult to get out of, like even being conscious. Like that one, the one that happened to me where it slammed me down and I rolled was that one happened in Santa Cruz, California, which is like an hour and a half south of me. I was by their like boardwalk, and it was just like I got caught in the wave again. Similar situation, except this one caught me in my back, so it slammed me like chest, like full body first, pretty much,
Oh.
instead of my head, which I think
Oh.
contributed to the reason I didn't get knocked out. But I definitely got the air knocked out of my
Yeah.
lungs. Um, but yeah, that one like slammed me down, rolled me a bit before I like stood up and got out of the water. But like when that wave is moving, it's hard to get out of. Like
Yeah.
if you don't stand up immediately, that thing can roll you, and if it's not deep enough, if it's not shallow enough waters that it gets you to, it'll pull you right back out. So
Yep.
it's honestly really lucky that like any of those people managed to like get to me, because if
Yeah.
like if they didn't see that boogie board, that wave could have pulled my body right back out, and I would have been gone.
Yeah, you would have been gone.
Yeah, like they would never would have found me. My body would have just been out at sea somewhere. So I'd like, it's kind of lucky, but yeah, no, my corpse could literally be floating at the bottom of the big island right now.
Oh yeah. See, now I'm. Fuck.
Are you
You
good?
hear that music?
Huh?
Is that just me?
I hear nothing.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What?
Fucking random music started playing in my ear from the stream. Look, at like the
Oh,
46 mark, they start speaking. It's the first time I've ever heard. I just heard
I'm
behind me,
gonna
a
I'm gonna
woman's voice,
hope
and I'm like,
I'm gonna hope that that didn't get caught in the actual podcast, because
well, it doesn't matter. We have the report.
oh, that's true, yeah.
Sorry. Anyways, that caught me really off guard. Context to audio listeners. In this map, there's a barn. We're sitting around a campfire right now, and
Yeah.
behind us there's a barn. And in that barn, there's a projector with a player on it, and it's just been playing music this whole time. But not through this whole time. There has never been a song with any words in it. So I just randomly heard a woman's voice behind me.
That'll do it.
Oh,
the good news,
anyway.
I have all world audio muted.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I heard nothing. Let's go.
But yeah, I've never been knocked out by a wave, but sure as hell been carried away by one. Let me
I was
tell
going
you.
to say, being knocked out's not fun, but being carried away is even less fun because you actually know what's happening.
Yeah, so I was in throughout high school, I was in my band, and this was the first time that we brung together an indoor percussion, and we came to Daytona Beach for the finals. All right. So it was great. We had this little hotel that was on the beach. So we could just walk right out. Right? Cool. We can spend the day fucking around. And then we have our competition tomorrow, and then we leave. Very simple. So, mind you, I didn't realize this after the time, but this is what was the name of that hurricane that came and wrecked up Miami and Puerto Rico?
What year?
And then went
2004, 2005?
no. This is like recent. It's when I was in high school. So it's like 4 or 5 years ago. Was it sophomore? It would have
Alexa,
been 2020.
what hurricane hit Florida recently?
In Tallahassee, Florida, it's 98 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies.
Not what I asked.
You can look for just
Alexa,
a few cloud.
what are all of the recent hurricanes that have hit Florida?
Here's what I found from YakimaHerald.com. Tropical Storm Cindy has formed behind Tropical Storm Brett. In the first case of 2 storms in the tropical Atlantic in June since record-keeping began in 1851.
Alexa,
Forecast.
what hurricane hit Florida in 2019?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, 2019 was a quiet year for hurricanes making landfall in Florida.
Alexa, what hurricane hit Florida in 2020?
It was in 2019.
Hurricane Isaias was a
Isaiah.
destructive category.
Alexa, shut the fuck up.
It was definitely 2019 though. I'll remember. It was some fucking storm.
I think it was late 2019, which is why we all thought it, like, why they say it's 2020.
No.
But it was Hurricane Isaiah.
Oh, no, it was 2020.
Was it?
No, I'm a bozo. I just forget how school.
Either way, Hurricane Isaiah.
No, it was the beginning of 2019. Anyways, there is a hurricane, and it came and hit the ocean, and fucked it, and was messing it all up right before I got there, pretty much. Like, not even a week. So we get to that beach, and there are 20-foot waves.
Oh, fuck no.
The average is 20-foot waves coming in. I mean, absolutely fucking massive. Not only that, the water you've been in the ocean, right? So you know that the ocean is absolutely fucking freezing.
Oh yeah, like
It is
depending on
so
where you are,
cold.
it can be really bad. Like out where I am in California, oh, the ocean's cold as shit. You hop in there on like a warm sunny day, it's maybe 40 degrees.
Exactly. It was 50 degrees that day. It was 55 degrees.
Yeah, the ocean's gonna be below freezing.
So I was prepared for this. I've dealt with big waves like this before. You know, my family lives in New York, so we used to go to in Long Island. So I'd go off either the Sound or go to the ocean. I'm used to big waves. Fine, no problem. I decided to get in the water.
Oh no.
All of us did. About 7 of us did. Right. Now, 4 of us were smart, and didn't go where the 20-foot waves were crashing in. You see, the waves were crashing in at a point of the ocean, but then there was a shallow part after that.
So the big
Right.
waves are crashing early, and then they're rolling in.
Yeah, pretty.
Okay.
So 4 out of the 7 people stay in that shallow area. Get hit by some wave, but right. Me and 2 other guys not do this. We decided to challenge Mother Nature.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a piece of advice. Don't challenge Mother Nature. It doesn't work. She is stronger than you.
Yeah, I've
And
got
she will prove it.
Yeah, I've got a quick 2-minute story after this to tell you even more about why you should not challenge Mother Nature. It's a stupid fucking choice.
Yeah, so I'd already been swept in like once or twice by myself. Right? Just absolutely wave just taking me out, right?
Yeah.
Or there was one time where I wish I could take a picture of this, but just have like the movie cameraman take a picture of it. There was a giant 25-foot wave. There was no way I was out swimming it. So I literally just stood there T-posing and just let it hit me. Got absolutely clotheslined when I got hit. Now, the third time was the issue. Now, mind you, my friend, you know her, by the way. I can say her name. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's already seen me flip through a few times, right? Dude, she kept telling me, be careful. Dude, don't need you drowning.
Was she one of the ones who stayed back?
So the third time I go in, right? I go in with another friend of mine. We'll call him Seth. He's a bigger set guy. Right?
Okay.
Not fat. He's just bigger. Right? I was with him. Yeah, exactly. I was with him holding on to basically each other for dear life out in the way. Now, Lucy, have you ever heard of a sneak wave?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know what those were at the time. So if you don't live by a big body of water, a sneak wave is when you see maybe a 15-foot wave go by, right? But what you don't see behind it is that there is an extra 25 to fucking 30-foot wave building behind it.
Essentially,
and when I mean behind, I mean like right behind it.
Yeah, essentially a sneak wave means that there's a wave blocking your vision, but there's a larger, more powerful wave coming right behind it.
Yeah.
So you can make it past the first one, that second one's going to beat the shit out of you.
So that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
We jumped, made the 15-foot wave, and all of a sudden our feet hit the floor, and we knew we were in trouble.
Yep.
We knew because we were maybe 100 feet out, and the water got down to our knees.
Yep. That's the one thing about sneak waves as well. It's like, it's terrifying because as soon as they come in, it's like, it pulls all of the water from that wave, from the first wave. So normally when a wave comes in, the water stays level after it because it's a wave of water pushing in. So if you jump over a wave and the water goes down, you are in trouble.
Yep. So we jump over it. Now, mind you, our backs are to this wave. We don't.
Oh, God.
All of a sudden, we feel the water get to our knees, and we know we are in the deepest amount of shit. We know what's about to come.
Yep.
So I look at Seth, and he looks at me at the same time. We both grab hands. We both grab hands and say a prayer. Because we got, obliterated. I got sent so far. You remember that shallow sandbar area? Yeah, it didn't matter. I actually got sent so far, I washed up on the beach.
Yep.
Where our towel and stuff was set up.
Yep.
I actually got flung all the way out there, and so did Seth.
Yep. You
So I
don't
come
fuck
out
with
of water,
sneak waves.
literally on my knees. My friend comes over and it's like, so we're not gonna do that again, right?
Yep.
I'm like, nope. And I get back in the water.
Bruh. No, I will
I got
say
back in the
though, like,
water for like 25 minutes. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I'll say this right now. You don't like nobody ever wants to meet the sneak wave. I've run into one once, and it was undoubtedly the most terrifying thing I've ever had happen to me in the ocean. And that's saying something considering the boogie board incident. Um,
Yep.
like I would rather have had that happen to me again than deal with a sneak wave because like this was out at Ocean Beach in San Francisco for those who don't know, but it's a beach like that's very well known for its undertow. So, you know, you go into the water,
Oh boy.
9 times out of 10 you're gone. Like if nobody else sees you, you're dead. And even if somebody else sees you, it's like, you know, it's very rare they'll be able to reach you.
Right. Yeah.
So I was out there with some friends and we were all just in the water. You know, we there was like 4 or 5 of us out that dealt with this wave, but we all went over this wave. I mean, it wasn't like a particularly large one, maybe like 5-10 feet. So nothing like too massive. But we get over that, right? And immediately after that, you know, the water gets pulled outward. So, you know, we didn't like immediately notice like the depth of it, but it got pulled outward, which is why I was like, oh shit. So second we feel getting pulled outward, you know, I turned around and I just come face to face the wave that's maybe half a foot from me. And you know, this one's larger than the other one, so you know, it basically just fucking yeets us all into the water. Luckily, everybody regained their footing long before the undertow hit. But that could have been so disastrous. Good. Yeah, it could have been disastrous.
Horrible.
Yeah, it could have been disastrous.
Well, today we didn't really talk about. No, go ahead.
Yeah, just before we wrap up, going back on the don't fuck with Mother Nature point.
Yes.
San Francisco, California got hit with like the remains of a tropical storm back in like 2008, 2010-ish like era time. And this is undoubtedly one of the best stories I have because I wasn't in like extreme peril or anything from this, but you know, my school was in session that day that the storm hit. So you know, we all had to go home, and I just decided I'm not gonna wait inside at like, you know, the little like after school area. I'm gonna go out into the storm because fuck you. Dumbest choice I could have made. I'm talking like yeah, I'm talking like 55 mile an hour winds from this tropical storm. Like I go out there. My friends are all standing.
The rain.
Huh?
The rain at this point is not going sideways; it is going up.
No, literally, like it is like barely connecting with the ground. It is like almost vertical. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside. And my friends are like, "You're an idiot," but I dare you. Yeah. So they sit at the door and watch me. I wander out. Mind you, I went to a Catholic school at this point. So this is the really funny side of it.
Oh God.
But I'm at this Catholic school, right? There is a church, a daycare, you know, a bunch of stuff. It's a K-8 school. It's great. And I just say, fuck it, I'm going outside. So we go through the gymnasium. Now, the gymnasium opens way to this big-ass courtyard. And I'm just like, all right, bet. This is going to be great. I get about 10 feet out that door before a gust of wind knocks me off my ass and drags me through the water across the yard. Like, of course. I'm talking like I'm getting yeeted. Like, for any of you who have ever seen that video, like that video of like, I don't remember where it was from. I think it was in like England, but it's of that person trying to walk in high winds and they get thrown to the ground and dragged. That's what happened to me. So I thought it would be a brilliant idea to challenge Mother Nature. And I wish I was kidding when I tell you it took me 20 minutes to get back to that door. I had to crawl.
Yep.
Like I was army crawling across the ground back to the gymnasium because I had gotten dragged across and I couldn't stand up without getting dragged again. So it was so stupid. Like I literally just could not move. But yeah, if anybody tells you, hey, you should challenge Mother Nature, just don't.
Don't.
Like it's
just don't.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Imagine your skinny ass fighting like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's how it's gonna go.
Pretty much.
Like,
Pretty much.
Mother Nature will wipe the floor with you.
100%.
Doesn't matter who you are, you're dead.
Now, we didn't get to talk about, like, specifically, I know we said at the beginning, we didn't really talk about, like, summer camp stories, so maybe we should leave that to a part 2. I have
I'm gonna say I've
I
got a
have
few.
a
We can
few.
definitely leave it to a part 2. But real quick before we end off here, I would like to just double check something that I mentioned a little bit ago, and that is starting our Q&A section.
Oh, yeah.
So I know I pinged it a while back, but I don't know if we've actually gotten any new questionnaires for it. So we are about to go take a look. So we are back. But I did want to say we were going to do a Q&A section. There are no new questions in our questionnaire. If you'd like to ask them, links down in the description under podcast Q&A. Feel free to drop some questions. We answer them on the 30th of every month. So every end of month episode, we will answer whatever question you guys throw at us, unless we deem they're too personal or too uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it. Oh, we should talk about the thing.
So, we were thinking today, right?
Yes. Well, we started talking about it today. I feel like both of us have been thinking about it for a hot minute.
For a long time, but we were talking today, and we're gonna change the name of the podcast.
Now,
because we feel as though the name of it can be how do I say this?
Misinterpreted.
A bit misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading, but it's also on top of that, it can be just an awkward title to use professionally. And I'm sure you can understand why it may be misleading, because Hell's Newsletter does not sound like your average run-of-the-mill podcast. It sounds like a cultist podcast.
Yeah, it sounds like we're just doing,
Satanism.
A weekly report on how the seventh floor of hell is doing that week.
Yeah, it sounds like
really got tortured pretty hard.
Yeah. No, but we're gonna switch it also because, like, I can't tell you how awkward it has been having to mention the name of the podcast to people and then having to explain why it's called Hell's Newsletter.
Yep.
Because I've got some religious friends, religious family members, and so forth, and I'll say oh yeah, they'll be like, "What's the podcast called?" I'll be like, "Hell's Newsletter," and then they'll be like, "It's called what?"
Yeah.
And then I have to explain
I didn't even get that far.
I just have to do I have a somewhat kind of out, and my joke is that, oh yeah, it's named that because my internet persona is Satan, and it digs me a deeper grave usually, but it's a reason.
Yeah.
Some of my family doesn't talk to me anymore, but anyways.
We will eventually. We have a couple of ideas that we have. We're gonna put out a poll. See if you like any of the options, or you want to introduce one that you guys may have think of.
Exactly. Yeah, the poll will be up on Twitter.
Now I will say, just because the poll wins, it does not mean it definitely will be the name.
It's just we want to get an idea of what you like.
Yeah, exactly. We want to get some audience feedback.
Yeah, but other than that, I think that's about everything.
Yeah, I think that wraps us up.
All right, yeah. Don't forget to share out the podcast. Like, upvote, subscribe, whatever the buttons are on whatever platform you're watching this on. If you're on YouTube, like it. If you're on if you're on Spotify, follow it. If you're on Apple Music, I don't know what their button is, but hit it. Just anything that can really help out our analytics. We are still kind of a new podcast. We're still slowly figuring things out. We want to get into bigger and better things. We're going to be interviewing some more creators soon enough, but yeah, we just kind of want to get out there a bit more, get a bit more recognized. And as our name changes, it's going to make it a little harder to do, but it'll be worth it.
For sure. I think it will. But
all right.
I think we'll leave it there.
Sounds good. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will be seeing you all in the next episode, which will be on July 15th. Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah.